Hello, and welcome to Once Upon a Time in Black History. I am your host, Tamara Shiloh, author, educator, and owner of the Multicultural Bookstore in Richmond, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. You can also find us on my website at onceuponatimeInBlackHistory.com. Our shows are sponsored by the Multicultural Bookstore, and if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please send me an email at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. Alrighty then, let's get this party started. Hello and welcome to Once Upon a Time in Black History. I am your host, Tamara Shiloh. This is the podcast where I share information about folks you didn't know. Today, I bring you information about a small but impactful invention that many of us take for granted, the house door letterbox. Yep, the simple letterbox that's part of almost every front door has an interesting history, and it all started with George Beckett. Let's talk about how some of this got started. It was in the mid-19th century in England when the postal service was becoming more efficient and accessible, and with the use of what was then called the penny post. The penny post was a postal service that delivered letters and packages for a single penny. Now, imagine that. And that's also when sending and receiving letters was no longer a privilege reserved for the wealthy. However, there was one issue: how could letters be securely delivered when recipients weren't home? Well, thank you, George Beckett, a forward-thinking inventor who recognized the need for a practical solution. In 1849, George patented the house door letterbox. This simple yet ingenious invention consisted of a slot in the door, protected by a flap to keep out the weather, with a receptacle inside the house to catch the mail. It's an idea so straightforward that it's easy to overlook how revolutionary it was at the time. Before George's invention, mail carriers often had to knock and wait for someone to answer the door, which slowed down deliveries. George's letterbox allowed for secure, contactless delivery, streamlining the process and making it far more convenient for everyone involved. The design also addressed privacy and security concerns. With the internal receptacle, letters were safely stored inside the house, protected from prying eyes or bad weather conditions. George's invention quickly gained popularity and became a standard feature in homes across Britain and beyond. But Beckett's innovation was more than just a practical improvement. It reflected broader social changes. As literacy rates rose and postal services expanded, the exchange of letters became an essential part of everyday life for people across all social classes. George's letterbox played a quiet but important role in advancing communication and connection. Today, while many of us rely on email and text messages, the letterbox remains a symbol of trust and human connection. It's a reminder of a time when receiving a letter was a cherished event, bringing news, stories, and emotions right to your door. When was the last time you received a letter in the mail? Right? Now imagine that. That's it for today's episode of Once Upon a Time in Black History. I hope you enjoyed this story. See you next time. Thank you for tuning in to Once Upon a Time in Black History. For more information on this topic and others, visit the Multicultural Bookstore at multiculturalbookstore.com. And again, if you want to advertise in our podcast for a mere $25, please contact me at tamarashiloh@gmail.com. See you next time.